Lakers. Championship games. 1949 to 2020. Los Angeles Lakers vs. Boston Celtics. Highlights. Sunod ang championship wins ng Lakers hanggang sa natalo ng Knicks noong 1970. Winner 1949 Minneapolis Lakers vs. Washington Capitals 1950 Minneapolis Lakers vs. Syracuse Nationals 1952 Minneapolis Lakers vs. New York Knicks 1953 Minneapolis Lakers vs. New York Knicks 1954 Minneapolis Lakers vs. Syracuse Nationals 1970 New York Knicks vs. Los Angeles Lakers. Winner 1972 Los Angeles Lakers vs. NEW York Knicks 1973 NEW York Knicks vs. Los Angeles Lakers 1980 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Philadelphia Sixers 1982 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Philadelphia Sixers 1983 Philadelphia Sixers vs. Los Angeles Lakers 1985 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Boston Celtics nakamit ng Lakers ang unang panalo laban Celtics noong 1985. Winner 1987 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Boston Celtics 1988 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Detroit Pistons 1989 Detroit Pistons vs. Los Angeles Lakers 1991 Chicago Bulls vs. Los Angeles Lakers 2000 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Indiana Pacers 2001 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Philadelphia Sixers. Ang pangdalawang panalo ng Lakers laban Celtics ay noong 1987. Winner 2002 Los Angeles Lakers vs. New Jersey Nets 2004 Detroit Pistons vs. Los Angeles Lakers 2005 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Orlando Magic 2010 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Boston Celtics 2020 Los Angeles Lakers vs. Miami Heat. Matapos ang dalawang dekada, nalyapag uli ang Lakers ang Celtics nito lamang 2010. 12 beses naglaban ang Boston Celtics at Los Angeles Lakers. 9 ang panalo ng Celtics. 1959, 1962, 1963, 1965, 1966. 1968, 1969, 1984, 2008. 3 ang panalo ng Lakers. 1985, 1987, 2010. 32 beses lumaban ng championship games on Los Angeles Lakers. 17 nito ay panalo at 15 ang talo. 15 teams na tumalo, 1959 Boston 1962 Boston 1963 Boston 1965 Boston 1966 Boston 1968 Boston 1969 Boston 1970 New York 1973 New York 1983 Philadelphia 1984 Boston 1989 Detroit 1991 Chicago 2004 Detroit 2008 Boston